'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the shop, pudding was freezing. The temperature had dropped. If he tried to work, his fingers lost feeling. He needed a good heater and an insulated ceiling. He didn't care for holidays, his family called him a Grinch, and he was stubborn. He wouldn't budge an inch. To change his heart, out of nowhere a gift appeared. Puddin' ran to his gift to see what could be here. As he opened his gift, he said so abrupt, "This is a cheap Harbor Freight break. Let's beef this shit up." What's going on, everyone? So, I bought this sheet metal brake from Harbor Freight. I usually don't buy bigger things from there. I usually invest my money elsewhere. But I watched a couple of videos and seen reviews where people were making some pretty nice bends with one of these after doing a couple little upgrades. First thing we're going to do is we're going to tie in this whole corner. There's really not a lot of surface area welded on this corner, so what we're going to do, some little 2-inch strap here, 1/4 inch thick. I cut it to length, I believe 3 3/8 if I remember correctly, and I just rounded the corner so you don't have to do that. But what I'm going to do, clean all that paint up, slide that up there in there like that. That's going to let us get a good corner joint in there, be able to tie them in, come along the bottom here, and tie this into this 1/2 inch plate up here so it'll really beef up this corner. Well, that's it for our progress today. You know, this thing's pretty crude, really. I mean, I did my measurements and was even marking everything with a fat tip marker. So I'm not being super precise here, at least with this panel. But you know, I'm gonna be stepping on this thing. So it's gonna get beat up no matter what. Nonetheless, I think it turned out bitchin'. I got to use my Swag Off-Road dimple dies and my Crater Maker dies that I've just picked up from Hammer Fab. It makes that nice little recessed area where you can put a little button head like that or whatever. So I'll get back out here tomorrow and we'll keep rocking and rolling on this thing. Well, I got this piece done. It's easy to put on, it looks cool, and it should really help us be able to bend thicker material and longer pieces. Up next, I think we'll put some bigger handles on this thing and address a couple of the welds on it. We'll get back on this brake today. We're going to put some handles on it. Basically just going to notch this pipe where it can sit over here off to the side. They'll be out of our way of where we can work with this brake. And then I'm going to grind out some of these Harbor Freight welds, get the paint off of them, and just put a couple nicer welds on it. Well, we're on our home stretch here of our upgrades on this thing. Last couple things we're going to do, I have some brackets here that I already threw together. I put a bend in it, rounded a corner, a little gusset in there, practice TIG welding on, and these are going to end up going here. And what we're going to do is I still got to drill and slit this. We'll drill a hole in this piece, and it's going to let us have another bolt in there to help keep that from flexing. And then these wheels here, I got them from a fan, a big box fan or whatever that would roll around. So I'm going to find a way to put these on some metal, get them down here, probably cut off these two smaller handles and put one on that side, that way we can pick it up and roll it around, and figure out what paint we're going to throw on this thing now to get it one color. So let's get going. Well, pretty much done with the upgrades on this thing. Everything turned out good. Now the last thing it really could use is a good coat of paint. Voila! TV magic, folks. I decided to paint this thing. I really did a little prep work on it. I ran over the whole thing with 80 grit on my DEA. I sprayed anything in bare metal with primer. I did scuff that with Scotch-Brite, and then I just made sure to clean everything good to remove any dirt, grit, grease. The paint is a color we mixed up at O'Reilly's. Just going through a couple books. It is tractor enamel, should be good and strong. It's got some flake in it, kind of gold color. It looks awesome, especially in the sun. I really like it. During reassembly of this thing, I did space out these links with some washers here because the smaller bushings were in there. We're kind of sucking them in and making them bind. So that's something I addressed. Now let's go over a quick list of everything we did. We added this addition to our lower leaf here that bolts on and off. We've got our cool step bar down there. We added our 2 new handles where we can actually have some leverage. Relocated one of the factory handles over here. Added this set of wheels, that way we can move this thing. And then we added these gussets here on the back that bolt through the upper hinge pivot area for the upper leaf on this. Guys, I tuned this thing in before I ever took it apart. Got it where it's bending pretty good. There's a lot of information of that out there already, so just do a Google search of how to tune a sheet metal brake. You'll find a lot of good stuff. Our last thing now is to see how it performs. Let's try this thing out, see if we can't mess up some of the paint here. This is just scrap metal I have. I didn't cut anything up for this. This is a 18 gauge, all of it's 18 gauge, and this piece of strap here is about 2 inches wide. Pretty nice little brake. Piece of 5-inch, try it out. Nope, there it goes from the back. Again, I mean, I'm happy with that. This piece here is about 7.5 inches. And again, that's pretty consistent down through there. I don't know if it'll really show, but that's nothing to be upset about. And really the ends may be messing up because I haven't cleaned up that metal from when I cut it. I would definitely be happy with that if you were making like a shroud or radiator cover or whatever. And then this is the biggest piece of scrap I got right now, so we're going to try. It's 13 inches long, 18 gauge. And check that out. Again, pretty consistent. I can definitely tell you just from in the video when I bent this piece, which this piece down here, guys, is 34 inches long. I bent it in here, and I didn't even have the hardware on there because I was rushing, being an idiot. But I can definitely tell that this helps a lot with being able to bend that, catching that material, and help picking it up. Obviously, the bigger handles help as well. So, guys, I'm happy with that. I'm sure I'll have no problem doing another 34-inch piece like I did down there. And even if it gets a little crisper at the ends, I mean, that's pretty normal on any sheet metal brake. So any hammer and dolly work can be done to help clean up any issues you ever have like that. Well, that wraps it up for this video. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment. Leave me some feedback, good or bad. Hop over on Instagram if you don't follow me on there. I try to post quite a bit. And go check out my other videos. Tell your friends, family, anyone who may be interested in this stuff, and help me get it shared around. I do appreciate the support from you guys, and I'll see y'all in the next video.